Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube. Today we are taking a tour of my garage. Hope you enjoy. Please subscribe and like. And check out my Instagram, Chop Suey Dewey Gaming. It's new to go along with the channel. Uh, Thanks for watching again. Let's crack on. Alright, so first up we have the Vapid Retinue. It's not a bad car. It's not the fastest car, but it's quite good to drive. Good off-road and corners quite well. Here we have the Gotti Vigilante. This featured in my last video, so you can check that out if you want to see what this can do. It's a good all-round car, and that's about it. Next up we have the Dabachi Rapid GT Classic. This is my favourite car in the game. It's my main car what I drive, and I'd recommend buying one. It's quick, handles well, good for drifting, and goes well off-road. Next up is the Invetero Crockett Classic. I was going to say the Stinger then, but that's the wrong car. Don't really drive this car much, it's basically just for show. To be fair, I don't think I've drove it at all since I bought it, so I can't really give you a description of what it drives like or anything. Next up is a Dominator. It's a good muscle car if you haven't got a lot of money. They're quite cheap to buy and not that dirty to do up, and they're quick and handle great. Next up is the Declassi Tampa. I've had all three different types of these, and this one seems to be the best. I don't really drive it that much, it's basically just a show car for the garage. I only use certain vehicles. Right, on to the next level. How are you guys liking my Jason Todd-esque outfit? Let me know in the comments. Right, next up we have the Vapid Sanking XL. I did this up when I first started playing the game on PS4, and it's been in my garage ever since. I do use it on occasion, but not a lot. Next up is the Baller LE. I can't see the first name. It's the armoured version. It's a quite good vehicle just for cruising around in. You can get quite a few of your friends in it. And it's done in brushed gold. Next up is the Enus Cognoscenti, armoured again. This car looks better than it drives. It's quite slow and doesn't handle very well, so it just stays in the garage most of the time. Next up we have the Crockett. Great car, it's quite quick, handles well, and that's about all I can say about it. Then we have the Benefactor Feltzer. Great car, it's one of my favourite cars in the game. I've had this one quite a while now. I don't use it all that much, but it's still a good car, so it'll stay here. Next up is the Elegy Retro Custom. It's a great car, quite quick, handles well. The only downside is the handbrake doesn't work very good, so it's not really good for handbrake turns and stuff. But other than that, it's a great car, great one to have. This one is just a street car what fetched and did up. It's a Penumbra. I haven't drove it since I did it up. It just sits here to fill a space. And we're on to the next level. Right, first up here we have the Albany Lurcher. This is just all in black. I wanted it to look like a hearse. It's a good car, quite good at drifting. It slides well because it's long. I only bought this the other day with a Halloween update, and I've only drove it a couple of times. Next up is the Frankenstange. Seems like quite a good car. I love the paint job on it. It reminds me of a old hot rod. I can't say I've really driven it, to be fair. Next up is the Vapid Hot Knife. I had one of these when the game first came out on PS3, and I recently bought it again just so I could have like a collection of little hot rods in the garage. I don't really drive it; it doesn't handle that well. Next up is the Roosevelt. This is just a standard version. Again, it's done up like a hot rod. I do like driving this car. It's good considering it's classed as an old vehicle. And your friends can stand on the side and shoot. Yep, seems like a good car. Next up is the Rebel. This is the rusty version, but it's got a chrome paint on. It's done up like a sand vehicle for off-roading. I haven't really used this in quite a while. It's just been stuck in here. Next up is the Benefactor Panto. I did this up like a clown car for when I had my clown outfit on, and it's quite fun to drive. Nippy little car. It does tend to spin out quite easy though. Next up is the Dabachi Rapid GT. It's I've seen in YouTube videos it's one of the best cars for drifting. I haven't really tested it out, I'm not a big drifter, but it seems like a good car. It's a good one to add to your collection if you haven't got it already. If there's any cars in the game you'd like to see, guys, or you do a gameplay video with, just hit me up in the comments and I'll make it happen. Right, we're going on to Garage 2 now. I'll catch you back in a minute. We're back again, guys. This is my second office garage. I don't really have any other garages. I store most of my vehicles in here. I have the odd one lying about, but nothing worth mentioning. So this is me Karin Sultra RS. I've made it look like the old style Subaru paintwork for the rally. It's a good car, fast, handles well, goes off-road well. I do like the car, it's one of my favourites in the game, and I'd recommend buying one again. Next up is the Benefactor Shafter. This is the long wheelbase armoured version, the V12. It's again one of my favourite cars in the game. It's handy for cruising around with your crew and friends. It takes two rockets or sticky bombs to blow it up, so that comes in handy. The windows aren't very bulletproof, but again it's a good car and it's quite fast. Next up is a Tornado. This is just a standard Tornado custom. It's just got paintwork. There's not really anything else done to it. It's basically just for show, I don't drive it. Next is my Tornado Rat Rod. I do like this vehicle. I'm into hot rods and rat rods, so it's one for me. It handles quite well considering it's a long car, but does tend to spin out every now and again. Next up is the Imponte Dukes. I like this car. The 1969 Dodge Charger is one of my favourite cars, and I had to buy this in the game when it come out. Don't drive it a lot, but it's there for when I need it. And this is actually based off a Fast and Furious car, one of Dom's Chargers. It's quite a good car. Next up we have the Heavy Insurgent Pickup Custom. I stored this in here recently. I haven't really used it. I don't tend to use armoured vehicles as much as I used to do. It's a good all round. I've got a heavy machine gun on the top. Good thing you want to cause some trouble while you're doing cargo missions and whatnot. On to 4-2, guys. Next up is the Penetrator. It's a quite good car, quite fast, one of my favourite supercars. I do like it. I mainly use it for racing. I don't drive it in free mode, as I'm not that keen on it. I prefer to use muscle type cars. This is a Duke of Death. Again, one of my favourite cars. I had to buy it. I don't use it that much, as again it's armoured. When you drive armoured cars, people tend to destroy you more. Next up is my collection of Faggios. There's a Faggio Sport here. I did it up to test all three, what the differences was. Don't really use it, it's just sat here taking the space up. This is just a standard Faggio. I wanted to see what the customization was between the normal Faggio and the Faggio mod. And there's quite a lot, including engine sound, the speed, and the list of modifications you can do to it. I do actually like the Faggio mod. It's one of my favourite bikes to ride. Next up is the Esky. Again, this is quite a good bike. I don't really ride it that much. Basically it just sits here most of the time. This is my Battiator 1RR, one of the classic bikes from the PS3 when it first launched. This is my main bike what I use for racing. I've had it since the start of the game, and yeah, it's one of the best bikes to race with. On to the next level, guys. Next up is a Blister. I took this car off the street and just did it up like a little boy racer car. Don't really use it, it just sits in here. Next up is my Armour Kuruma. I got this when I first did the heist. Don't really use that much, everyone has one. Next up is my Rusty Custom Slam Van. It's fully kitted out, hydraulics, everything. Full engine upgrades, there's no money spared on this one. Use this one for car shows, as I like the look of it. Next up we have the Warrener. Did this up to look like a Mark 1 Escort. Looks quite good. Don't really drive it that much, it's just basically for show. This is just a street car what I got, it's the Sentinel XS. It was actually this colour when I got it off the street. I had a few modifications, I just added to it and fully upgraded it. Yeah, so that's it for this garage, guys. I'll be back in a minute with Garage 3. Back again, guys. This is Garage 3. This is my Manchez. It's one of the best bikes for wheeling. I did it up like a Supermoto style. I do ride this one quite often when I want to ride bikes. It's a good all-rounder. Next up we have the Shafter V12 armoured. This is a short wheelbase one to the long wheelbase one I had in Garage 2. I do like this car. I tend to drive the long wheelbase one more though. They're done up near enough the same. Next up I have the Street Blazer. This is a good all round quad. I do ride this quite often. It's good for wheeling and just all round fun. Next up is the Nagasaki BF400. I do use this bike for racing. It's quite quick for an off-road bike, and I do use it in free mode a little bit. Next up is the Evian Sagent. This is for when I'm moving cargo as well. I just like to be prepared so I don't get blown up as easy. It's a good all-round vehicle. And next is the Casco. I did this up after I played one of the first heists where you drive it off the boat, and I liked it so I bought it. I don't really drive it that much. Here we have an Elegy. It's customised but it's not the retro one. I do like the look of this car. I wanted it to look like a GTR, but obviously it can't look exactly like. Next up we have the Futo. This was quite a rare car to get in the game at the start, so I've got one here just for that. And plus it's a good drift car. It's not as fast but it's good. This is the Karin Kuruma non-armoured one. I like driving this one, it's quite a good car. But I haven't used it in a while. This is a Phoenix. This was my first car in the game, and I've kept it all this time. Don't use it anymore, but it just sits in here for that fact. And then we have my Tornado Custom, a custom paint job. No money spared on this one. It's out of my 3 Tornado, it's my favourite one to drive, and I do like it. And last but least, this is a Nemesis. I don't think I've ever rode this bike. I did it for racing, but it's not really that fast. That's it, guys. Couple more bikes up here. I have a Sanchez, one of the best bikes in the game. A Defilia, I don't really ride that much. And a Zombie chopper, which I did up for my MC, but I don't really ride it. And then we have another street car over here. I can't remember what it's called. It's the Dilettante. It's electric. It's quite quiet. It's not really fast. I just have it in here in case I need a car to get A to B if one of my others isn't available. And that's going to be it, guys, for the video. Please like and subscribe. Hit me up in the comments if you want any gameplay footage of any of these cars, or to show you test drives or anything like that. Thanks for watching. Please check my Instagram out, Chopsuey Gaming. And that's it, guys. Thanks a lot.